Good evening. This is All India Radio, Kohima. I'm Jonas Yandan with Evening News. The headlines. Indian Air Force special repatriation flight with 168 people from Kabul lands at Hindon airbase. National Thermal Power Corporation Limited commissions largest floating solar PV project of 25 megawatts. Information and Broadcasting Ministry to celebrate Iconic Week from 23rd to 29th of this month as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And 54 athletes to represent India and compete in 9 sports disciplines at Tokyo Paralympics. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower the guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075 and state helpline number 1-800-345-0019. And now the news. An Indian Air Force special repatriation flight with 168 people, including 107 Indian nationals, landed today at Hindon Air Base in Ghaziabad from Kabul. Afghanistan Member of Parliament Narendra Singh Khalsa, who has been evacuated in the flight, spoke about the current situation. Earlier, the first batch of 135 Indians who were evacuated from Afghanistan's Kabul to Doha over the past days were repatriated to India last night. Indian Embassy in Doha, Qatar provided consular and logistical assistance to ensure safe return. In a tweet, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bakshi said that an Air India flight carrying 87 Indians departed from Tajikistan for New Delhi last night. 2 Nepalese nationals were also evacuated. He added that more evacuation flights will follow. External Affairs Ministry has urged all Indian nationals in Afghanistan requiring assistance to contact its special Afghanistan cell immediately. The National Thermal Power Corporation (NTPC) Limited has commissioned the largest floating solar PV project of 25 megawatts on the reservoir of its Simhadri thermal station at Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. This is also the first solar project to be set up under the flexibilization scheme notified by the Government of India in 2018. The Power Ministry said the floating solar installation has a unique anchoring design which is spread over 75 acres. This floating solar project has the potential to generate electricity from more than 1 lakh solar PV modules. Information and Broadcasting Ministry will celebrate Iconic Week from 23rd to 29th of this month as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. During the period, All India Radio News and its regional units will broadcast special weekly programs like Darohar, Nishan and Aparajita. Doordarshan will organize a patriotic film festival. A series of sectoral programs will be mounted and 4 episodes will be telecast during the Iconic Week. Special programming on DD India, focusing on issues related to diplomacy, diaspora, cinema and India's outreach to the world will be telecast. Former Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh Kalyan Singh passed away in Lucknow last night. He was 89 and was in the hospital for the last few weeks. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and several leaders expressed grief over the demise of Kalyan Singh. President Kovind in a tweet said, Kalyan Singh had a magical connection with the masses. He said as Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Singh determinedly pursued clean politics and re-governance of criminals and corruption. Vice President said that Kalyan Singh was a nationalist and an exemplary leader who was deeply committed to serving people. In a series of tweets, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Kalyan Singh was a statesman, veteran administrator, grassroots-level leader and great human. Modi said he leaves behind an indelible contribution towards the development of Uttar Pradesh. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on our YouTube channel, AIR News Kohima. More than 58 crore 14 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far in the country. Over 30,900 new cases of COVID were reported in the last 24 hours. Active COVID cases account for 1.09% of the total cases, which is lowest since March 2020. India's active caseload stands at 3,53,398, which is the lowest in 152 days. National COVID recovery rate has increased to 97.57% and it is the highest since March 2020. A total of 38,487 patients recovered in the last 24 hours, taking the total recoveries to over 3 crore 16 lakh 36,000. In the last 24 hours, 403 deaths were reported. Till now, 4,34,367 people have lost their lives in the pandemic. More than 50 crore 62 lakh COVID tests have been conducted in the country so far. Nagaland reported 35 fresh positive cases of COVID-19 today, taking the total daily to 29,589. 12 cases were reported from Dimapur, 10 each in Kohima and Mokokchung, and 1 case each from Kifere, Mon and Pek. The state also reported 52 recoveries, increasing the total recovered cases to 27,151. Deaths due to COVID increased to 596, with 1 death reported today. Presently, there are 975 active cases. Raksha Bandhan, the festival of special bond between brothers and sisters, is being celebrated today across the country. On this occasion, sisters tie a colorful rakhi around the wrist of their brothers and pray for their prosperity, health, and well-being. In return, the brothers pledge to protect and support their sisters and present them gifts. President Ramnath Kovind has greeted citizens on the occasion of Raksha Bandhan. In his message, Kovind said, the festival is a symbol of love, affection, and trust. He asked everyone to resolve to build a harmonious society where the safety and dignity of women are given utmost importance and they fulfill their aspirations freely. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extended his wishes to all the countrymen on the occasion of Raksha Bandhan. Today is World Sanskrit Day, also known as Viswa Samskrita Dinam. This is an annual event focused around the ancient language Sanskrit and is aimed to promote its revival and maintenance. It is celebrated on the full moon day of the Shravana month in the Hindu calendar. The Sanskrit organization Samskrita Bharati is involved in promoting that day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today extended his wishes on the occasion of World Sanskrit Day. The Prime Minister has posted a message in Sanskrit on Twitter where he said Sanskrit language is ancient as well as modern. 54 athletes will represent India and compete in 9 sports disciplines at Tokyo Paralympics, scheduled to be held between 24th August and 5th September 2021. The disciplines include archery, athletics, track and field, badminton, swimming and weightlifting, among others. This is the biggest ever contingent India has sent to any Paralympics. Sports Ministry said all 54 athletes are part of Target Olympic podium scheme. Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs Nirmala Sitharaman will launch National Monetization Pipeline (NMP) tomorrow at New Delhi. The NMP comprises a 4-year pipeline of the central government's brownfield infrastructure assets. Besides providing visibility to investors, NMP will also serve as a medium-term roadmap for the asset monetization initiative of the government. The Union Budget 2021-22 laid a lot of emphasis on asset monetization as a means to raise innovative and alternative financing for infrastructure and included a number of key announcements. And now 20 News, here are the main points again. Indian Air Force special repatriation flight with 168 people from Kabul lands at Hindon airbase. National Thermal Power Corporation Limited commissions largest floating solar PV project of 25 megawatts. Information and Broadcasting Ministry to celebrate Iconic Week from 23rd to 29th of this month as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And 54 athletes to represent India and compete in 9 sports disciplines at Tokyo Olympics. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.